This is the game of Dos, and it is the world's #2 card game. That is an unverified statistic. So I think this is just kind of a fun, clever game because Uno came out and was extremely popular, and so Mattel Games was like, hey, let's make more money, right? And so they put out Dos, and I think it's just clever and fun. I love just the coloring, and it's just kind of fun. It's like a new edition of Uno, but this game is played very differently. And so if you want, you can just play Uno with these cards. That might be more fun. The game is kind of hard to understand. It seems like a lot, if I'm completely honest. So basically what you do is you grab two cards, just the top two cards, and you put those in the center of the table. And so you have your 10 and your 9, right? So you have those, and you're adding up to these cards, and you're not looking at color anymore, which is not like the original Uno. But you look at this 10, you're like, oh, I have a 7 and a 3. So you can put those on this and add up to that. So that's how you get rid of your cards. There's some things where you're doing like a single color number match or a double match, and like there's some more different rules, but that's kind of the basic concept of the game. And once you cover up one of these, like with that 7-3 I was talking about, you take that aside and then you go ahead and replace it with a new card, different things like that. So it's a really interesting game, pretty different. You've got some of these, which is a wild 2, so you can make that whatever color you want, but it's a 2, which is very interesting, and that's, hence the Dos. And there's also these cards, which it has to be red, but you get to pick the number of it. So those are the two, I believe, new cards in the deck, and really interesting figuring out how to play. You'll probably want to read through the rules a few times. I'm not going to get in depth with that now, but once you do figure out how to play, it is an enjoyable game. And so it just takes a little bit longer to explain how to play, but that's kind of the basic premise of it, is you're adding as opposed to just looking at the colors and things like that. So it's a touch more difficult, but kind of fun. And if you have a child that you are wanting to help out with starting to add and different numbers and things like that, this could actually be a fun way to do that, because they could work with, I think it's just up to 10, and so, how do you get up to 10 or 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and all of that. So pretty fun game. I have enjoyed it, but I forgot all the rules. I forgot some of the rules since playing last. It's just not as simple. So just be aware of that. Once you read through, it'll take 5 or 10 minutes to get a hang of the rules, and once you're playing, it is an enjoyable game. It's just a little more intensive than the very simple Uno. So hopefully that helps and lets you know whether this may or may not be right for you. Thanks.